Hi everyone, I'm Doug from DigiPen in Redmond. In this video, we'll spice our game up a bit with the magic of sound effects. Sound is an integral part of almost any game. While a game can be played without audio, it takes away a vital part of the immersive experience. The sounds you hear while playing a game help trick your brain into believing what you are experiencing is real. In some games, like a casual 2D puzzle game, sound is just there to provide satisfying feedback. In others, like a 3D stealth game, sound might provide vital information or give your position away. Sound can even shape the mood of the game and how we respond emotionally. Here we have a fast-paced, futuristic racing game through a neon cityscape with a hazardous track and a sci-fi car. The game's sound design can reflect all of this, giving the player an additional sensory experience while playing the game. Sound can be used to convey important information to the player. A game might use an audio cue to let the player know that an enemy is approaching. This is especially important in stealth games that require you to listen carefully to what's around you that you can't see. Games often use sound effects to show that a character has been hit, with different sounds indicating the severity of the hit. And games also use sounds just to let the player know that a button they've pressed is actually doing something in the game. Other than background music, which tends to play continuously, sound effects are the majority of what the player hears in a game. Sound effects include both game world sounds and non-game world sounds. Game world sounds include anything that comes from within the world of the game. For example, the running hero's footsteps or the barking of a dog. Also included in this category are different vocalizations coming from a character when they jump, or they get hit, or any other physical action that might cause them to utter something. The category of non-game world sounds includes things like button presses. A button press happens outside of the game world, and the sound that accompanies it is there to provide feedback to the player that the game knows the button was pressed. Another example is power-up sounds. The hero gets a boost in the game world, but they don't hear the sound it makes, only the player does. Finally, the game begin and game over sounds are there to make sure that you are aware that the game has started or ended. So where do these sound effects come from? Usually they're either recorded in the real world or they're created in a studio by a sound designer. Let's start with sounds that are taken from the real world. A common example is the sound of feet or cars on gravel. It makes a very distinct noise and is easy to record in the real world. The sounds of animals can be useful for setting the right ambience for the scene and can be captured in a quiet spot out in nature. Finally, the sound of wind can be captured as it rustles leaves or grass or causes things like a porch swing to move. Now let's talk about sounds made in a studio. In a studio, the sound designer can create sounds for things like the blast of a sci-fi energy weapon or a teleporter. They might even create a custom sound effect for a door opening. In a game set in the past or present, it would be appropriate to find an ordinary wooden door. But if the game is set in the future, the door might slide open automatically as the hero approaches it, and that would call for a cool futuristic sound that couldn't be recorded in real life. All of these sounds are meant to keep you immersed in the experience of the game. If the game's sounds are made well, you'll feel like it's all happening to you in real life. Let's spice up our Scratch Invaders game with some sound effects. Load what you've already done in that project, or visit the link in the description below and then click the See Inside button. When it comes to adding audio to a game like Scratch Invaders, an excellent place to start would be to play a sound effect when the hero shoots. Make sure the hero is selected, and then select the Sounds tab up here. On the left, you'll see a vertical list of sounds your hero sprite has. Most of the sprites in Scratch come with a few sounds, but you can add more. Click the Choose a Sound button at the bottom to browse the library. In the sound library, you'll see a large collection of all kinds of sounds, including animal sounds, synthesized effects, voice clips, music loops, and more. You can narrow down the list by clicking the buttons at the top, or you can search for a sound by name in the search field over here. When you hover the mouse over a sound's play button, it will preview that sound. Go through the catalog of available sounds and find something you would like to use to represent your hero shooting. You may wish to limit your choices to just what you can find in the Effects category. This pew sound effect should do nicely. When you've found what you want, click it to add it to your hero sprite. After you add it, you can edit it using the sound editor. We won't worry about this for now, except that we should make sure that this new sound has a descriptive name. In the sound name field here, delete the name that's already present and type shoot. Now that we have a shoot sound effect, we're ready to play it. Click the Code tab to go back to the hero's code area. Click the magenta Sound category on the left. Find the Start Sound block and drag it into the code area. This block has a drop-down list of this sprite's sounds. When it's executed, it causes the selected sound to play. Make sure that Shoot is selected in the list. So, where should this block go? Well, we have this handy shoot function here. Its purpose is to run all of the code that should be executed whenever the hero shoots, so it's the perfect place to play the sound effect. Add the Start Sound block to the body of the shoot function. Click the green flag. Now, whenever you press the spacebar to shoot, your shoot sound effect plays. Let's do even more. We can create a brief sequence that plays when the game starts, and it can feature a sound effect to get the player excited to play. To begin, let's create a new function. Click the pink My Blocks category on the left, and then click the Make a Block button. Name the new function Starting Sequence. This sequence will place the hero at the bottom center of the window and then slowly slide them upward into the main game area while a sound effect plays. Now we need to come up with a sound to play here. Let's go back to the Sounds tab. Click the Choose a Sound button at the bottom of the list on the left to go back to the sound library. Find something that will sound appropriate as the hero enters the stage. Try typing the word space into the search field. Ooh, this space ripple sounds pretty cool. Choose your sound and then change its name to Enter Stage. Now click the Code tab at the top to return to the hero sprite's code area. Click the magenta Sound category on the left and find the Start Sound block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and add it to the body of the Starting Sequence function. Make sure that Enter Stage is selected in its list. The next thing for this function to do is to put the hero in their starting position at the bottom of the screen. Drag the hero sprite as low as you can in the game window. It might be easier if you drag it by the top of the sprite. Scratch won't let you move a sprite all the way outside of the window, so it will always have a little bit sticking up out of the bottom edge. Now click the medium blue Motion category on the left and find the second Go To block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and add it to the body of the starting sequence function. The coordinates in this block are already populated with the hero's current position. This is handy, but we want to make the hero move upward from the bottom center of the window, so make sure that the X position is set to indicate that. In the left value field of the Go To block, type the number 0, indicating halfway between the left and right sides of the window. Leave the right value field alone. It's already got the number we want it to have. Now we can move on to making the hero slide upward into the window. Scratch has a handy block just for this sort of movement. Click the medium blue Motion category on the left and find the second Glide block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and add it to the body of the starting sequence function. This block will cause the hero to gradually move over time to the specified coordinates. In the left value field, put in how long you want the movement to take. 3 or 4 seconds feels pretty good, so we'll go with 3.5. In the X value field, enter the number 0. For the Y value field, we want to provide the top boundary value. Click the orange Variables category on the left and find the Hero Top Boundary Reporter block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and drop it in the Y value field in the Glide block. The starting sequence function is complete. Now we just need to call it. Click the pink My Blocks category on the left and find the starting sequence block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area. This function should occur right at the beginning of the game, so we should call it just after the initialize function. Attach the starting sequence block between the initialize block and the main forever block over here. Now click the green flag. After their dramatic entrance, the hero is ready to fly around under your control. Let's recap what we've covered in this video. First, we discussed how sound improves the experience of a game by providing feedback, conveying information, and enhancing realism. Next, we talked about the kinds of sounds found in a game. Game world sounds take place within the world of the game, and non-game world sounds are only heard by the audience. Then we showed the different ways that sounds are created for games, either by being recorded from real life or by being created in a studio. Finally, we applied our skills by adding audio to our Scratch Invaders game, where we enhanced the hero's shoot function by giving it a sound effect, and we created a brief starting sequence featuring another sound effect. In the next video, we'll learn how to add unpredictability to our games with the use of random numbers.